Hello, happy Wednesday. I wanted to hop on here. I'm doing a 14-day challenge where I'm just sharing topics that are inspiring to me. So I hope you find them inspiring too. If you're on watching live or the replay, please let me know you're here because I would just love to know that you watched it or it meant something to you, or if you learned something new, please let me know. But yesterday I talked about how to find your purpose, and I just feel like there's so much, it's such an important topic right now because there's so much chaos and confusion, and your purpose is really just your reason for doing something, and it's what gives you joy, and thinking about how you can take steps to move forward towards that. So I had this really great one-pager that helps give you clarity. If any of you would like these, they're just 12 questions to help give you clarity towards what really gives you purpose. But today I wanted to talk about how, once you find your purpose, how it's related to gaining courage, because your purpose really gives you that perspective and belief that it can happen. And I'm going to share my story briefly too about kind of what I'm doing in my purpose, and then how you can take tangible steps towards practicing your courage and the steps along the way. So for those of you who don't know, I went from being I worked in the corporate world. I went into consulting straight out of college and did that for a few years, and then quit my job to start an online marketing company. And I've been doing that for 6 years after I experienced a transformation in my health. And it really impacted our financial options as well. And so when this opportunity came into our life, in my life, it gave me purposeful work. And really, when that can come together, when you have work and purpose, when those can come together, that's really the sweet spot of life. And that purpose leads to the possibility of legacy, of, how can you give back, and how can you work towards something that brings you joy and that's helping others. And that's really what I feel like I get to do every day. And so I just thought, so if you look at the definition of work, it's an activity involving a mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. Instead of working for a company's purpose or result, what if I could work for my purpose and result? And for me, I wanted that freedom and flexibility to be at home I had just had our first son, Noah, at the time, and I wanted to be at home with him, and quit my, lucrative corporate job and wanted to be home. My husband is in residency, and to be honest, we just needed a couple $100 extra to make ends meet and make that dream happen. So we just needed a couple $100 a month, and I was able to do that by doing this, partnering with this mission, starting an online business, and without having to get a lot of childcare. So really that money went right in our pockets, and I was able to make just, a couple $100 a month when I first got started. And it really meant everything to me because it helped give us options. It allowed me to be able to stay home and not have to go back to work. And, but interestingly enough, I did want more than that. I wanted to grow my business, and I wanted something of my own. I didn't want to just be a stay-at-home mom that brought in a couple $100 a month. I have always had this creative entrepreneurial spirit, and even though up to that point I had only been an employee, but I learned that if I wanted purpose in this business, I really had to focus and treat this business like a business, because I didn't have a plan B. I didn't want to go back to my corporate job. I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted the flexibility and that time freedom. And so I didn't have any other options. And then that side gig of mine, because I took it seriously, began to multiply. And I remember that the first time a few years back when I got a comma in my paycheck, and it just went from a couple $100 to getting a comma in my paycheck because I helped a few other people along the way. I shared the health transformation, and I shared this mission and this financial option to be able to work from home. And to this day, this is still a milestone that we celebrate anytime time someone on our team hits that comma club, because you're going from, just adding a couple hundred a month, which can definitely help, to, making a steady income with a comma in it. So, and it's not about the money, but the money gave me options and gave our family options towards that purpose of mine, which my purpose was that I wanted to be at home. I had just had Noah, our first, and it gave me those opportunities, because when you tap into your purpose, it will bring you places that you never thought you would go. I never thought I'd still be doing this 6 years later. But I have, this purpose has given me confidence, which is really just the assurance of what I'm doing, the belief in what I'm doing. And when you have that purpose, and that's what I wanted to talk about today, you can find courage in your purpose, because you believe in where you're going so much that you can have courage in taking those steps that take risk, right? So, and that's really the power of perspective. Like, there's an image of a little kitten, like a little cub, looking in the mirror and seeing a lion, like the belief that, like, yep, I might be small, or I might just be making a couple $100s now, but I believe that this will replace like my previous corporate income, or double that, or whatever. I believe it's not about the money, but it's about having the options, right? So because you have that perspective in your purpose, you can practice courage and set up the routines daily to, for me, it was taking my business seriously and working it every day. So my question to you all today is, what social risks are you willing to take and put yourself out there because of your purpose? And why is it worth it? In order to have true confidence and courage, you have to take some social risk and have those times of like, are people going to judge me? What are people going to think of me? And even just being here right now in front of just sharing live and sharing my heart and my story is vulnerable for me. Like, I'm wondering, like, it's definitely a social risk, and like, are people going to judge me? But I'm willing to do that because I believe in my purpose so much that I'm taking this small act of courage to get towards my purpose, if that makes sense. So my encouragement to you is just think through your purpose. If you want help thinking through it, I'm happy to send you this one pager. It's from a motivational speaker I got to see. I think he's out of Australia. He literally travels the world inspiring people to think about their goals and dreams, and just getting clarity around that. If you would like this, please just send me a message and I'll give you this one pager. But once you have clarity over that purpose, then you can have that courage, because of that perspective of where you're going, to set up those routines, to take the courage of, having some social risk, and then set up those routines and habits to get to your goal. So I hope this was inspiring today. Hope you all have a great day.